Do you take a winter break or don't like to ride trails because it's wet and icky? That's totally understandable. In this video, you'll learn how to improve your riding skills without getting dirty so much this winter that you'll start the spring season stronger than ever. Did you know that actually winter is perfect to work on your riding technique? No? Well, maybe that's because you think you need trails to improve your riding skills. Well, here's the deal. For many skills, if not most, you don't need actual terrain. Because once you've understood how motor learning actually works, you'll realize that it's a misconception that trails are essential to learn. Don't worry. Of course, the goal is always to improve your skills in order to take them to the trails, to master difficult trails, or at least to ride the trails you're currently riding more safely. But you don't need to actually practice in difficult terrain to gain the skills to then apply your skills in difficult terrain. Why is that? Well, because motor learning, the learning of movements, has to take place under controlled conditions in a stimuli-free environment, because only then you can learn and consolidate new movement patterns. If you're interested in learning how motor learning works, so in learning how to learn, then I have a detailed video about this already, and you will find it here. So first off, what does it mean to practice in a stimuli-free environment? It means that the terrain in which you practice should not distract you. It should be low stakes and it should not cause any fear, so it must be objectively easy for you. Because if the terrain is too challenging and you are distracted, your brain goes into survival mode. It goes into performance mode, more to this later, and all you learn in this terrain is to arrange yourself with your already existing skills. So you will not learn new movement patterns. Therefore, ideal for learning, practicing, and consolidating new movements are stimuli-free environments, such as schoolyards, isolated obstacles like steps and stairs, underground garages, grassy areas and parks, areas below bridges. And for advanced exercises, yes, you will take these new skills to the trails, to session. But you will need to practice the majority of the exercises in the places I just mentioned before you have reached a level of expertise and automaticity that will allow you to take them to the trails. And now let's be honest. Can you practice in schoolyards, parks, parking lots, etc. in winter? Yeah, probably you can. And you won't even get dirty doing it. And that's why winter is the perfect time to practice your skills in a structured fashion. So here is reason number 2 why winter is perfect to work on your skills and why these areas like parks are perfect to improve your skills. When learning new movements, there are 3 stages. Stage 1 is the cognitive stage. In this stage, it's all about understanding what to do. During this stage, the beginner digests information and arranges this information into a meaningful form that then leads to the formation of a motor program. In this stage, instruction, guidance, slow motion drills, video analysis, augmented feedback, and other coaching techniques are super effective. The learner must be provided with the necessary information and guidance, and most of all, time to establish solid and sound fundamentals of movement. The learner must rely on visual learning and trial and error to understand the skill. In this stage, by the way, a professional coach like moi can accelerate your learning speed immensely and can help you to avoid building up limiting habits. If you want to work with me, I also coach online, then just check out my contact details below. Then comes stage 2. Stage 2 of learning is the so-called associative stage. This stage is specified as less verbal information, already minor gains in performance, but still conscious performance, which means you're still thinking about what you're doing. So you still need a stimuli-free environment. Also, there are lots of adjustment making in this phase, awkward and disjointed movements sometimes, so you have to get used and be okay with sucking at this stage, and you're using more time to complete the task. In this stage, you're working on learning how to perform a skill. So stage 1, what? Stage 2, how. Basically, you're trying to turn what to do into how to do it. This stage takes many repetitions, like literally thousands of repetitions in a controlled environment, stimuli-free environment, with deliberate practice, meaning that you want to perform, analyze, correct, and repeat. Then comes stage 3. This is called the autonomous stage. As the name suggests, movements have become subconscious, automatic, finely coordinated, and only now you can start to perform these skills even if you are distracted, like, for example, on a trail. And to reach this stage, we need thousands of repetitions. I'm serious, thousands. So obviously, going through all these stages is impossible in one day. It's impossible on a trail, and definitely not possible in a 2 or 3 hour skills clinic. That's why I'm not a fan of just taking half-day skills clinic and then believing you have the skills. You have to know that it's like an ignition. You have a spark, and now you're ready to practice these skills to make them automatic. So if you are really interested in tuning up your skills, then you should be aware of the fact that there are no shortcuts, which is why actually the fastest way to progress your skills is actually long-term coaching, because you can work on your skills over a long period of time, allowing yourself to really reach that autonomous stage, so stage 3. And the most cost-effective way of doing this actually is online coaching, because you don't have to go anywhere and it's much cheaper in the long run. As I said, if you want to work with me, description below. Now, here's another really exciting, well, you see, I'm a geek of learning how to learn. So for me, it's a really exciting reason of why you're not learning on the trail. And actually what you're doing is you're just recalling and ingraining existing knowledge on a trail, because there's a performance zone and a learning zone. We are in the performance zone when we are focused on doing things right, when we are avoiding mistakes, and when we are actually afraid to make mistakes because these might have consequences. We're in the learning zone, on the other hand, when we want to learn something new and we are purposefully working to improve. In this zone, mistakes happen, and they're actually desired because they will accelerate learning. And in the learning zone, there should be no negative consequences if we commit mistakes. So now, think about it. What do you think? In which zone are you on a trail? Right? You're in the performance zone. So if the trail, let's think slippery trail, you're definitely in a performance zone. So in this zone, you are concentrating on the movements you already master. Therefore, exactly these areas in your brain are activated, so there is no activation of the areas you want to change, and that's why there's almost no improvement of your skills, because for neuroplasticity, so for the change in your brain, which equals learning, the areas in your brain that you want to change must be activated, not the areas in your brain that you already know. So now there's one more thing, and there are soft skills and hard skills, and most mountain bike skills are hard skills. If you want to know the difference about soft skills and hard skills, then check out this video of mine, which I've also linked below, about how motor learning actually works according to science, and a recording of a talk of an interview which I recently gave at an online summit where I talk about the soft and hard skills in more detail. So here's a quick summary. Many riders believe that they will improve magically by riding trails, riding harder trails, and then improving, or by attending 1 or 2 clinics a year and then improving. Unfortunately, this is unrealistic because motor learning takes time. It takes structured practice and many repetitions. Because even if you want to, you cannot override your neural networks. And that means repetitions and designated time in the learning zone, not just time in the performance zone, i.e. on trails. So I really hope you found this video helpful. Give me the thumb up if you want to support my videos and keep them ads free like they are. This channel is still not monetized. Then become a patron on my Patreon channel or buy me a coffee. The link is below in the description. I am truly grateful for having you here till the end. You rock. Thank you, and hope to see you again for my next video. Goodbye.